Pastor Jonathan here with this week's sermon recap. This week we were in John chapter 8 and read a beautiful story of God's grace. It's the story of Jesus teaching in the temple when the Pharisees bring to him a woman who has been caught in the act of adultery. They remind Jesus that the Mosaic law says she should be stoned to death and ask Jesus what he says they should do. They did this because they thought they could catch him in an unwinnable situation. Jesus at first ignores their question and begins writing in the sand with his finger. They press him for an answer, and so Jesus says to them, "Let the one among you who is without sin cast the first stone." And he goes back down and writes again in the dirt with his finger. And one by one, each person falls under conviction, dropping their stone and walking away. Now, we're not told what Jesus wrote in the dirt that day, but I like the theory that he may have written the Ten Commandments. And as each person there, ready to act out judgment on this woman, as they saw the part of the law that they had broken, realized they were no better than her. Was it when he wrote, "Do not bear false witness. Do not covet your neighbor's wife or your neighbor's things. Honor your father and mother at all times"? One by one, each person fell under conviction and walked away. When Jesus realized that it was just the two of them left, he said to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you?" She replied, "No one, my Lord." And he said to her, "Then I do not condemn you either. Go and sin no more." Now, Jesus wasn't saying, look, sin isn't a big deal. Don't worry about it. On the contrary, sin is a very big deal, and Jesus paid a high price for it on the cross. But what he was saying that day is, I didn't come to condemn you. I came to save you, to pay that price for your sin. John 3:17 tells us, "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." Sin is a very big deal, but grace, God's grace, is a much bigger deal. And it's why Paul wrote in Romans 5:20, where sin abounds, grace abounds much more. Jesus paid a high price for you to live in the freedom of knowing that your sins are not only forgiven, but they're forgotten, cast as far as the east is from the west, and he chooses to remember them no more. This week, anytime the enemy tries to bring up your past, you remind him about his future. You remind him that you have been forgiven, adopted into the family of God, made joint heirs with Jesus Christ, and you are loved with an everlasting love. Take those thoughts captive to the obedience of Christ. Don't live in the condemnation of a past that has already been forgiven and forgotten. Walk in the freedom that Jesus purchased for you. I love you. Have a great week.